Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a review of Tying a Knot with an Amagami Sister, episode 11. Well, my bad, episode 14. Now, before I do my video this episode, I like to say I do apologize for doing this video on a late notice. I had work, I had other stuff to do at home and all that stuff. So, and it really was hard to juggle all the basic things. And like I said, I don't do videos on a regular basis. Like usually I do it on a time when the show airs, but I didn't get time to do it because of work and stuff. So bear with me on doing these rom-com videos and episodes I did that potentially I am gonna do once I'm finished. I mean, after this video, guys, I gotta go to work. And then Sunday, which I'm day off, I'm gonna do the 100 Girlfriends and the other rom-com with the tsundere queen, which everybody's saying she's a tsundere queen, but that's a different topic in another way. But I want to get this out the way. Tying a knot with an Amagami sister. Let me just say this. We covered Yai's arc, and Yai's arc was something else. I can't disrupt it. I love it. Yai's arc was so impactful about Yai making choices and her development as to why she is what she is, and I get that. Now, we covered that arc. Now we're going to Asahi Amagami, the youngest of the group, the youngest of the sisters. We get to see her arc. Now, when you take this arc right now, you know what this reminds me of? A simple movie that everybody should know. And if you watched it, if you haven't watched it, shame on you. But I'm pretty sure you've seen it in parodies or whatnot. Groundhog's Day. You guys know the movie Groundhog's Day? To sum it up, is like this. Weather reporter having a bad day, disrespectful, yada, yada, yada. Having one bad day, right? He wakes up and he's in the same time loop. The same time loop over and over and over and over again. It's a good classic romance movie. Like Groundhog's Day, it's funny, it's romance, everything. You can laugh at this and you're like, oh my God. And you see in the movie Groundhog's Day, the weather reporter is just doing all these things to see what happened. Like when he dies, he gets back at the same clock. He wakes up when he robbing a bank or anything like that. It's just repeatedly over and over again. And the reason I bring up the reference to Groundhog's Day, is because this episode, the Tying a Knot with the Amagami sister, is literally the same thing as this. And my God, it is better. Well, I won't say better because it has something in between. So without further ado, let's get right to it with Tying a Knot with an Amagami Sister, episode 14. Okay, so we covered Yai's arc. Now we're in the Asahi arc, the youngest, like I said. It's a sports event. And like all rom-coms, we're gonna have a sports event. Like, oh, come on. It's pretty much common in all rom-coms. But you have a sports event. You're gonna have a beach episode, a sports festival type vibe. You're gonna have all of that. All of that. Now, before I get to that, let me talk about the opening. The opening is very good. I like it. I like the opening. And I also like the fact that we're also getting the whole yokai woman with the yokai mask and the black hair. It's obvious that's the mother and the mother/priestess. Like, he's right there. Even I knew that. But I do like the opening so much about it. And the show, like the woman in the mask just vanishingly disappears. So that tells you right there that's the mother. Like, pretty much tells you right there that's the mother. Like, it's so obvious, but I do like the vanishing shading away where they all take photos in front of it and then the mother just vanish. So now we get into Asahi. Okay. So Asahi is training just to win the sports festival. That's her wish. And her rivalry is Karen with the blonde hair. Karen. Kind of blonde hair. It's so friggin' obvious. So easy name to remember by anyway. So they have this rivalry here. And out of all the sisters, Asahi is the most athletic of the group. You know what I mean? And for her to, train for the sports festival or whatnot, it speaks volume. Like, and they have these little charms in this episode. They put the wish charm. You know how you wish for something, you tie a knot. And for Yai's case, her wish is to bond with someone. So we already know the war has already started. The wars has already started for this one. So, but again, with Asahi, being that she has some, perverted ways. We have some little bit of fan service in this episode, mainly with Asahi just showing off her body towards Uryuu, and that's it. Now, the day of the sports festival, running, the day of the sports festival, she trying her very hardest to pass Karen, but I do like how Uryuu brings up their sensei with the shrine man. She's like, go, 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 go. Embarrassment as it was, I'm happy he did that. Now, here's the lowdown here. Yeah, she won first place, and she's happy. But then, if you pay attention to this episode, the date has changed. The date. So, you look at the date, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's June 28th? I'm like, oh my God. They went back in time. Like, I don't know, this is kind of like Erase? Nah, I won't go to Erase. At least Erase has something when I go back to the younger age. This is like Groundhog's Day. And it's not just Uryuu who experienced it, but Asahi also went back in time as well. So it's like these two actually remembered everything that happened, while the other sisters don't remember. But it's only affecting Uryuu and Asahi in this Groundhog's Day effect. Because they're like, wait a minute, you said the same thing I said. And it's like, everybody, these two are so confused. Because they look at the timeline where it's just like, okay, they had a sports event. It got canceled due to the rain, so they had to go into July. So somewhere within that time frame, something happened. And it had this infinite loop process, like something, an occurrence happened. Like, if you watch Groundhog's Day, if you watch the movie Groundhog's Day, the only way he stopped this whole leap of chain of events over and over again was that he was nice to everybody. After he was nice to everybody and got the girl of his dreams, and went the next day. So just like this episode, they have to do something that what they wish for or what the wishes are to stop this time loop over and over and over again. And that's what we're seeing in this. Asahi and Uryuu are the only two that in this time loop that, the infinite Shukiyumi. But I wanted to say that. But my point is, that's what these two are affected by. They read the newspaper, they look at the timeline, there's something happened between the two. And I think there's this red thread of fate. The red thread of fate that needs to be tied. That's what it says, tying a knot. So they have to do something to tie that knot to make sure that the chain of events between that time frame and this timeline is in effect and not delayed. What is with these people in powers? I'm just curious. Does every girl in the Amagami sisters have powers? Or does Uryuu have the power to change the fate of these Amagami sisters? Because we've seen Uryuu change a lot in this time loop when he did it. We've seen a lot when he could see the future. He's seen the future, so he knows what he's doing. And I'm like, wait a minute. So every girl in Amagami sister have a talent? Are we seeing that they have a talent to stop time and go back in like an infinite loop? Can they do that kind of thing? We got more answers about that. I can't wait. I think because it's the red thread of fate. Like I think it's the red thread, the knots like Asahi has on her head. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's some kind of tie. I think those red threads have some kind of abilities. And I think it does. But overall though, this episode is really good. We got a sports event thing, and I do like the chemistry that Asahi and Uryuu have. I know people see those two like maybe brother and sister. I get all of that. And some people see it like, oh, we ship those two. I mean, people see it as a shipping, people see it as a don't shipping, but I'm not saying they're the best ship. I mean, they have this chemistry, like they funny. These two are very funny. As a funny duo chemistry, I do like it. But again, having this episode going through like an infinite loop, like Groundhog's Day, this is funny as hell. And I hope they find a way to break that. So I look forward for next week's episode of it. And again, I do apologize for doing this video on a late notice. But rest assured you, I'm off for 2 days. And I promise you, I'll give you guys the other videos that I'm supposed to cover. Like the Okinawa that's coming out, the 100 Girlfriends, and the Tsundere Queen everybody been talking about. Rest assured you will get that video. So, thank you for watching my video of this episode, tying a knot with an Amagami sister, episode 14. And I look forward for other videos to talk about tomorrow.